So what's it called? You know what's funny? I had this video like uploaded like 12 days, not 12 days ago. When I'm recording this is the 27th. I had everything fixed the 20th. But I've just had an interesting like last like I want to say from Sunday onwards, it's just been interesting. Anyway, y'all read the title. We're gonna talk about how to maintain your strength when you're trying to lose weight or go on a cut, right? So the biggest thing is what most people do when they're like on a cut, they try to switch things up. It's funny. I made an Instagram reel on this. So if you guys want the short, if you want like my thoughts over there, you can go check my Instagram. But I'm gonna go more into detail on this because I have more time to like talk about it. But what's it called? So one thing most people typically try to do is they try to like change up how they work out. And the only difference is when you're like bulking, maintaining, cutting, all of that is that you might so like for example when you cut you don't have as much energy, so you want to conserve your energy for things that are like more like essential in a sense. So let's say for me I know like I want to try to maintain my strength as much as possible, no matter how might lean I might potentially get. I might not be able to maintain everything, but I'm going to try to maintain it to the best of my ability, right? So perfect example is bench, right? So if you can bench 315 and you want to try to like maintain yourself benching 315 and you're about to lose like 20 to 25 pounds of body fat, which will be hard but not impossible. One thing is you got to make sure like every set you do, you train hard and you like try to maintain a good amount of intensity. Perfect example is like let's say you're doing like other like accessories. You shouldn't do more than 3 sets and it should never be more than like at worst 10 reps. I would even say 10 reps. Honestly, I feel like 8 reps is better than you doing like let's say 4 sets, 12 to 8 reps, the generic rep range that everybody decides to do. So what's it called? You don't need a lot of volume. You just need high effort, low reps, and enough food to sustain recovery against all these sets. Meaning, if you're trying to like build up your squat, bench, or deadlift, and you're not trying to make sure you're like in a good rep range of a 3 to 5, it doesn't essentially matter what you're gonna do because biggest things that really matter while you're doing all of this is your sleep, your recovery, how much protein you're eating, and how hard you're working. No matter what you're doing, you should still be trying to work hard. A perfect example is like, let's say you're going to do a top set, 3 to 5 reps between 85 to 90% of your max percentile, right? And I don't know what it is, so I'm just shooting out numbers in a sense. So what's it called? Your goal isn't to like PR every week. It's to maintain whatever strength you built and let fat loss let fat loss come from your cardio and your diet. You don't want to like work harder than you really have to. And if you do it properly, you don't have to. Like me personally, like I've gotten actually stronger in my cut, and I'm still natural. Just want to throw it out there. Like I'm still natural. Like my bench has gone up. My squat has stayed the same because I messed up my knee. But the point is, if I'm able to maintain one of them, that's all that matters. And I think my deadlift is gonna go up. I'm on. We're gonna track it. I'll let you guys know in like a couple weeks from now. But another thing too is carbs. You want to time your meals accordingly. A perfect example is for me. Before I have a heavy leg day, I make sure to eat something that's like good in protein. Like I typically like to have a chicken sandwich, and then I'll wait like 30 to 45 minutes before I start working. So you wanna make sure you time it accordingly, right? So like if you're gonna bench heavy, you want to at least sure you have like something small, like you can have yogurt, you can have eggs. You just want to make sure you have something like high protein. So you can't expect to like work hard and you're fasted. Don't get me wrong. I've done it before, and I've seen I've seen the repercussions of me doing it. You're not training for comfort, you're training for your performance and your preservation, right? So what's it called? One more thing I can also potentially mention, right? A lot of people try to outwork the diet with more volume, but you're cutting. You don't have like more energy to give than what you already potentially might have in this instance, right? Meaning, so the more volume you try to potentially do, the more recovery you have to do. A perfect example is I did triceps on Monday. Today is Thursday and I'm still sore. Well, soreness, granted, isn't always an indication of growth, right? That could just mean like I did something different. And I did overhead. I don't do overhead anymore. I transitioned into dips or anything. Now, besides me going on a random tangent about that, the biggest thing is we want to train smarter. We want to use higher intensity, lower volume, and train strategically. Strength is neurological, meaning let's make sure we keep those synapses firing so we know, oh, we're just getting leaner. That doesn't mean we want to lose any of our strength. My last closing thoughts on this matter. You are cutting because summer's coming and you want to maintain the strength you already had, eat for performance, train for intensity, and don't let your volume bury you in a sense. Meaning, you shouldn't be doing more than 3 sets. You should be making sure every set you do, you do it to the most of your potential. Strength loss doesn't always have to happen unless you make it happen. Anyway, those are just my thoughts on it. If you guys want me to go more in depth on anything, just let me know. And I promise I will try to be more consistent because one, I enjoy doing this, and two, I want all of us to reach our goals. Hope this helps.